Does the James Robinson trade change anything for the Jets? We'll talk about it next on Fantasy Football Today in 5. Welcome to FFT in 5. I'm Chris Towers here with Adam Azer to take a quick look at the Week 8 waiver wire. But first, let's talk about the Bears' surprising win over the Patriots on Monday night. And we'll start with two big questions. First, what do you make of Justin Fields right now? Is he a top 12 quarterback for fantasy right now? He's a top 10 guy over the past 3 weeks. He's looked pretty good. They've found ways to, hit big plays in the passing game. The pass volume's still not really there, but he's running pretty well. What do you think of Justin Fields right now? And before you answer, remember, there's like 3 good quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think he's pretty close to top 12. He's certainly in the discussion to be a starter every week. I think I'd rather have Geno Smith. I'd rather have Dak Prescott. I'd rather have Tom Brady rest of season. I think when you're talking about him versus Aaron Rodgers, that's really close.
Yeah.
But he's getting
might
better.
Be an upside versus floor thing with Fields having a bit more upside.
Yeah, and with the rushing yards, 47 or more rushing yards in 5 straight games, and the last 3 games, 19 points, 20 points, now 25 plus fantasy points against the Patriots. I wasn't really that surprised by the win, to be honest with you. I don't think the Patriots are that good. I think they're paper tigers, and they were only 3-3 coming into the game anyway, so there was a ridiculous spread. But I think he's a must-add. I think last week was, he's got the Patriots and then the Cowboys. That's tough. I don't think you start him against the Cowboys. They're too good. But after that, Miami, Detroit, Atlanta, yeah, you gotta add Justin Fields.
Would you rather have him or Daniel Jones, the other superstar rushing quarterback?
Well, now I wonder who has more rushing yards. Probably Fields.
Pretty close.
I would rather have Fields. I would rather have Jones this week. I'd rather have Fields rest of season.
Okay, that makes sense. What do you make of the Patriots offense right now? This Bailey Zappi, Mac Jones situation. Jones maybe not 100% healthy. I don't think either of them are particularly good. Can you trust anyone in this offense besides Ramondre Stevenson for fantasy?
If Mac Jones were the quarterback, I would trust Jacoby Myers in a PPR league, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. And Chris, I think this Damian
that's not that dissimilar from what we expected coming into the season.
I think that if you look at what the first 4 games when Harris was healthy and Stevenson, they were both usable. And they were really run-heavy teams. So there'll be some more weeks like that. They're not going to get the doors blown off every week.
All right, let's move on to the Week 8 waiver wire. And I think we got to start, obviously, with the James Robinson trade. The Jets acquired James Robinson just hours after MRIs confirmed Breece Hall's season-ending ACL tear. Does this take Michael Carter out of consideration for the top waiver wire target for Week 8 for you?
No, I don't think so. I think I'd still go with him over Gus Edwards in a full PPR league. Whereas earlier today before the trade, I said Gus in non-PPR, Carter in half or full. I'm going to amend it slightly to Gus in non and half and Carter in full. But those two are the top 2 for sure. This is an important move. I don't know how this is going to go. I think you could make the case that now you could definitely take Gus Edwards over Carter because of this deal. But, I still think Carter's probably the lead back.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know how healthy Robinson is. They really didn't give up anything big here.
Yeah.
So it could very well be that he's a complimentary piece, but it's not. It clearly limits Carter's upside, but I still think in a full PPR league, I'd take him over Gus. But I could change my mind by tomorrow, so please listen to the Waiver Wire show.
I will say I have Michael Carter as like a low-end RB2. He's like RB19 for me in my first run of rankings for Week 8. Gus Edwards, I will say in Week 8, I'm a little concerned just because they only have 3 days off before the Thursday night game. I wonder what his role is going to be like if they take it a little easier on him coming off his first game back. That's my only concern. So, if you really need a running back for this week, maybe that's the tiebreaker in Carter's favor. But I do think Carter should just be the primary target on waivers this week. I do think he's got more upside, I would say. I'm a little worried James Robinson might just be done, which is a little concerning and a little sad, but he's definitely not a 1-for-1 replacement for Breece Hall in this offense. Yeah. I do think Michael Carter is going to be the starter moving forward. If you don't need a running back, tell me who you'd rather have out of these options. Deontay Foreman, Greg Dulcich, or Daniel Jones for Week 8.
So Chuba Hubbard's not an option?
Or Chuba Hubbard. You can throw him in there. Panthers running back.
Yeah, I would rather have Chuba Hubbard. I think he'll be much more involved in the passing game, even though they ran a similar amount of routes. Hubbard was the third down guy. And I just, you look at Deontay Foreman, they had 15 carries, 11 of them came in the fourth quarter, 11, and they were winning big. I don't think they're going to be in a lot of game scripts like that. So I'd rather have Hubbard. He'd be my
take.
I mean, they're bad, right? I still think they're terrible. So, but they have Atlanta 2 of the next 3 games. I'm going to say Chuba Hubbard would be my favorite of that group.
All right. That's going to do it for Fantasy Football Today in 5. For more on the waiver wire, make sure you listen to the full episode of Fantasy Football Today, just regular Fantasy Football Today, wherever you get your podcasts. And Adam will be there with Jamie Eisenberg and Dave Richard and the rest of those guys. They'll be breaking down all the top waiver wire targets for Week 8. We'll see you next time.